This video tutorial is for Raylectron version 4, the Punch edition. It is compatible with Sketchup 2014 all the way down to Sketchup 7. After installing Raylectron, you're going to see a new toolbar with a single icon in it. So let's move it out of the way. So basically, I will not go into details, but just quickly showing you how Raylectron works. This model was from the 3D warehouse. It hasn't been modified for Raylectron at all. So basically we're just going to click on the icon to export the model into Raylectron. You can use that exported file again in Raylectron to reload your textures and everything. You don't need to use Sketchup afterwards and re-export it again. So as you can see, it's a real-time renderer. It works on your GPU. That means it works on your video card. It doesn't matter how fast your computer is, as long as you have a fast video card. So basically, when you export without the sun turned on, it will default to an environment map. In this case, where you're just using the default environment map, we can click on the settings on the right side here that you see, environment. And we can click on load or click on the environment map. We'll just reload another one. All these maps are from the Open Footage website. They provide free high quality HDRs. So here, just to show you these blue bars that you see everywhere in the Raylectron interface, they do not have an up and down arrow keys next to them. The way they work is that you click with the left mouse button, drag left and right to change the setting. You can use the shift key to change the value much faster, or the control key to go slow, or control shift to go even slower for very high precision settings. You can double click them to reset them to a default value, or you can right click and edit yourself. Press enter to accept or escape to cancel. So now, just to show you how easy it is to use Raylectron, we'll go to the material editor. All you have to do is right click on the material in your model, and the material editor will open up. You can change the diffuse value, shininess, reflection, transparency, whatever. So here in Sketchup, we did not have a texture loaded for this blue texture. Blue material, so we'll load a texture. For example, here we'll first use the brick just to give you an idea. So you can see how it tiles it nicely compared to the way SketchUp tiles rounded surfaces. Here you can change the size of your texture. Pretty much the same way as in SketchUp when you select texture and edit texture. You can rotate your texture as well. Let's rotate it 90 degrees just for you to see. We can load a normal map for it. That's something you can't do in SketchUp, so that it has bumps. It looks more natural. Can load any kind of textures. If you don't want that texture anymore, you can just click on remove. Just change the color. So we'll use this texture here just to show you, what you can do with Raylectron. So now we can make this car paint, so that way it's shiny, it is not just flat. If I remove the texture, you'll see what I mean. We can do the same with the glass here on the windshield, convert it to glass. And the mags here, we can convert that to chrome. So as you can see, it's very easy to use Raylectron. So If I would say yes here, it would save all the settings I just changed, and then next time I reopen it, it would reload them all. So let's load something else. This is again another model from the 3D warehouse. It hasn't been modified for Raylectron in any way. Let's export it as well. As you can see, it defaults to the sun and sky with the same shadow as Sketchup because it detected it. So again, we can go to the material editor, select the window. This one was push-pulled, so we're going to select the solid glass. So now you can see the sky reflection in it. This texture here is from SketchUp, but we can just change it to something else. Let's make that the brick. Let's make the brick a little bigger. Let's load the normal map for it. It already sets the bump depth to 10 every time you load a normal map. For this texture here, we can just change the default from SketchUp and use something else. Looking for this one right here. So here you can change the position of it. You know, to line it up with the edges, and then if you want to line up these two here. Then you can apply some shininess to this texture as well. Make it more diffuse so it's not so reflective. Then you can go to the sun and sky, select your region, just click on it. Or you can change your latitude and longitude manually, set the time of the day, the month of the year. You can also change the sun position manually, regardless of where you live in the world or the longitude and any of that. So it makes it very easy to position the sun and have the effect that you like to have. You can go to post-processing, change the intensity, the contrast. If you want a black and white render, set this saturation to -1. You want to add some fog, just turn it on. You can change the start and end of the fog. So basically it's up to you to play around with things. There's special effects. Let me zoom in close here just to give you an idea. If we enable that and click here as the focus point, change the aperture, let's say to 2, or let's say even 1, so you have a better idea. So now you can see everything that is out of focus from this point is blurred. Now if we're going to click in the back here instead, then the front becomes more blurred and the back becomes the focus point. So it's really nice if you have like close-ups of things, like a chess game, you want a close-up on the king or the queen, and you want everything else to be kind of blurred. Then you click on it and everything is kind of blurry. So makes it look more like a professional photographer. Here you can stop the render at any time and restart it. It will resume if you haven't modified anything. You can reload your previous camera. Raylectron save unlimited number of cameras, unlike SketchUp, which has like a dozen or so. In Raylectron you can go back 1,000 cameras if you like. You can create a scene based on your camera, so just give it a name, just like SketchUp, a scene. So now you have 2 scenes here. You can reload scene 1, reload scene 2. You can right click and delete scene 1 or delete. And you can use these scenes for the animation. Okay, you set how many frames you want per second and how many samples you want the render to do per frames, the video quality, and the transition time for all the scenes together, how much delay you want in between scenes, and on. So basically that's how Raylectron works, and we're going to have more tutorial on explaining exactly how the material editor works, how to save the settings and whatnot. You don't need to save your materials to SketchUp because you can save them in Raylectron as globals. You give them a name. If you use the same name in SketchUp for your materials, Raylectron will automatically load the settings of the one that you've set as being global materials. So this way it works for all your models. You don't need to keep on going back to every model to rechange everything. You change it once in Raylectron and it changes all your model automatically because they are not saved in SketchUp. So I hope this quick tutorial was helpful on getting you started. It is for Windows 8, Windows 7, Vista and XP in 64-bit mode only. In this tutorial we're using like a 3 years old computer with an NVIDIA GTX 670 video card. It only has 1300 stream processors, but you have now the NVIDIA GTX 690, which has more than 3000 stream processors. There's the AMD ATI HD 7990, which has more than 4000 stream processors. So that's going to make your renders and your animations really quick, and it'll be very nice to work with. So please watch the other tutorials that we're going to have, and thank you for watching.